How should the feed ration of a horse change in the spring, and should it at all? Is it recommended in general to put a horse on less grain than he was on in the winter? I know each horse is individual. She's watched you before. I know each horse is individual, but I would love to hear about this in general.
Okay. Well, that's something I hadn't thought about, and her direction was, should they be on less grain?
I thought the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think of it as, not for everyone, but for most people, winter, at least where it's cold, is a time of not riding as much, or not working as hard or as long, and maybe giving your horse a break because you had an intense show season or something, and so
the holidays get busy, all that kind of stuff.
And so you maybe feed less grain in the winter because they don't need as many calories, and then you, as you begin to up their workload in the spring, you add the grain back in. But then it got me thinking, why might you swap that? And it has a lot to do with your horse's body condition score, and I hope that's something, Valerie, that you're checking. Some horses lose weight in the winter, some gain weight in the winter. So you have to know your individual horse. And then how does your horse come out of winter? So if it comes out of winter fat, then yes, you'd want to reduce the grain. But if it comes out skinny and you're going to increase exercise, then you might want to consider, and not always just adding more grain, but adding calories or energy, maybe through fat, maybe more hay, maybe a supplement, a weight gain supplement, maybe beet pulp. There's a lot of choices besides the grain. The other things that I was thinking of are pasture, because it's a question we just answered. Some people, because they know their horse is going to get sugar in the pasture, they reduce the grain and feed more hay and sort of try to fill them up so they don't go out and gorge, and don't allow them to get sugar from other sources in their diet. So they cut back the grains and sugars because they're adding pasture. So there's a lot of thought that goes into this, but I think it has to start with what shape is your horse in, what body condition score, what are you feeding, and is your workload changing, and is the horse's diet changing in other ways?
I think body condition scoring is a really good point, and it kind of brings me back to the first question where we talked about all of our fabulous fun toys. And I think a lot of people, oftentimes when their horse starts shedding out, they're surprised at how thin their horse got over the winter.
Or they kept the blanket on and didn't look
didn't really notice. And so I think that's where body condition scoring, rather than just like, oh yeah, he looks about the same, you know, really getting your hands on the horse and really getting a sense for what kind of shape that they're in. And you guys can find a very fantastic blog on body condition scoring.
And videos.
And videos on how to do it. And so we'll include those in the description of the video.
Absolutely.